Good morning, everybody. I want to welcome you here to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I am the host of this show, a show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. Here for that final episode of those 28 albums with a love theme or a heart in them, the series that we're running for the month of February. So this final album is I switched this out half a dozen times, almost forgot what album it was. So this is Quicksilver Messenger, and the album is called Just for Love. I believe it was a late 60s album. Don't quote me on that one, but I think it was. Anyways, a pretty solid album. Very psychedelic in a lot of ways. Lots of instrumentation on it too. Pretty interesting album. This is only the second album by this band that I've listened to. I don't own any. I've thought about it. I like them. They're pretty different. They're not what I expect them to be. But I enjoyed their music. It of course has that psychedelic hint to it. They're not overly heavy. Pretty mild in a lot of ways. I'm not sure that I would say there's obviously there's a bit of a progressive element to their music, but it wouldn't immediately enter my mind that they're a progressive in any nature. Just basically a psychedelic band, atypical of a lot of bands coming out of the late 1960s. They all have somewhat of a similar, I wouldn't say if it's a similar sound, but they all have a lot of a element to their music, I guess, that is similar. I guess that's the best way to put it. And I had originally had a couple of other albums in here. One of them was kind of a countryish western album, and I thought this really doesn't fit in here, so I took it out. Put an album that somebody else had put in the list in there, and decided that it was okay, but I didn't really want to end off the series with that particular album, so I decided to keep looking, and I found this album. And I kind of knew that this album existed. I remember seeing it when I was looking through the list earlier, but didn't pursue it. But then I thought, well, I'll give this one a shot, and it turned out to be a good pick. I think it's an excellent album. It's an album I think I look for. If I can get it for a reasonable price, I would probably get it. And that's now made me curious to look at the rest of their discography. So today's album, Quicksilver Messenger, Just for Love, is the final album of the series. Yes, it's finally over. It doesn't seem like it took that long, but we are at the end of the month. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode and the series as a whole. And please hit the like and subscribe and the notification bells. Also, if you wish to make any comments, or I'm sure that some people will put their last selection, you can do that as well. And we will be starting a new series tomorrow. This series will be bands that put out 2 albums in a year. Yeah, so there's quite a few bands that put out two separate albums in a year, and not just put out 2 albums, but put out 2 great albums. So we're going to do I guess it would be 31 days. Yeah, 31 days in March. Right, early. It's early in the morning. Yeah. 31 days in March of bands that had 2 albums or more, 2 of my favorite albums or more. I'm going to kind of put these in some kind of an order, probably from least to best, which is the way I normally do it. So I hope to see you for that series, and take care and have yourself a good day and a good evening. We will see you tomorrow with the beginning of the new series. So take care and goodbye.